Welcome back to Mini Shorts. Today we're going to be looking at the boot floor and we're going to be just talking through what the plan is. So this is pretty much how not to use the Heritage boot panel, because A, don't really have the guts to put it in, and B, we will be saving a fair bit of money. So what we've got is a couple of these nice panels from M Machine that have already got the strengthening reinforcement panel on. We have got a couple of these panels from M Machine which we'll just join together. Have to tuck that under the heel board just there, but that's okay because the majority of that heel board we will be replacing with these new heel board ends, because as you can see it's all rusty on both sides. The other side's actually worse. That will go there, obviously not that way around. This is the one for the other side. Already has the subframe mounting bracket and bolts, see them in there, attached. So that will just have to be attached to the new floor section on the inner sill. And then lastly, obviously we've got a pair, one of these and one of these for each side. Lastly, we have the large repair section from M Machine, which goes all the way across here. Sorry, this is not an M Machine panel. This is a Magnum panel. And that will go all the way across there, although it will get cut here where it meets up with the M Machine panel. We have had to just trim this M Machine panel slightly to fit around the wheel well. And then additionally we will have to add a piece of sheet metal for this, and then also repair the battery box as well. So yeah, it's quite a lot of work, but I didn't want to have the car with no boot flooring at all flapping around, worried about losing alignment of things. So show you what we've done so far. Remove this panel here. This is part of that panel. Actually was in there. So many repairs and patches and all sorts of welding rubbish that had already happened underneath here. But you know, as we say, good stuff keeping the car on the road. So now it can be repaired a little bit more professionally, maybe not professionally, what's the right word, a little bit more extensively. In order to make sure we maintain these subframe mounting holes, we decided to leave the rear arch in place with it welded, and I've also taken some measurements here to make sure that things do stay in the right place. But yeah, that is all welded in here to the arch. So when we put this panel in place here, then it will get welded to this panel, and then later we'll change out the arches. But there was a huge amount of patching and metal, so this was on top of here, all this, multiple thicknesses of steel. So there's the panel that is part of the closing panel. So you've got the closing panel here, and comes this way a little bit. Then there's this strengthening plate. Then there's the floor, and then obviously the actual bracket itself. So all of those layers of metal had to be ground off of the bracket, so we can just attach the top side of this floor panel directly on. So that's looking good. we've done exactly the same on this side. So here's the bracket again. Show you this panel. This piece of metal, which used to be here, and you can see this rusty, flaky, really thin metal, which used to be the original boot floor, and then there's a repair panel underneath. And then there were also some repair patches along the edge, and they were actually L-shaped, so on here onto the floor, and then up the back of the car, so you can see in here where they're actually welded onto this back panel. Now we're gonna try very hard not to change that back panel and see if we can just clean these off. And once that's all done, hopefully that will be a fairly good finish in there. So as you say, we've pretty much got a U-shape repair going all round the boot here. That's it. I just wanted to let you know where we got to. Lots more cleaning up of this edge to be done, getting rid of this rust, cure rust treating it, making sure it's all nice and straight and flat and ready to accept the repair panel to be spot welded to it, as we should be able to just clamp along all the way along here with the spot welder if I can get it running. Okay guys, that's all. Thanks.